Hello, I'm Tori, and today we're going to do a short 40-minute flow. So we'll get started in child's pose, bringing the big toes to touch and the knees out wide, bringing the hands out in front and sinking that chest down. Wherever you might be in your day, take a moment to look back at the past week, or maybe just the past few hours, and find one single moment of positivity. Maybe that was a feeling of happiness or elation. Maybe that was just contentment. Maybe that's just being thankful for something negative not happening. But allow that feeling to spread through your body. From your heart center all the way out to your feet and your toes. And as you feel it warm you up, begin to bring yourself to the present, letting that moment go. And just focusing in on the breath. Beautiful. Nice even inhales and exhales through the nose. Just being present on your mat and on your space. Then ground down through your fingertips and walk them over to the right hand side. Bringing the chest over the thigh. Feeling an opening through that left side body. Then walking the hands back through center and over to the left hand side. Opening up through that right side body. Maintaining focus on that breath. And we'll bring ourselves back to center. Grounding down through those fingertips, we'll pull ourselves forward, coming into a tabletop. Moving right into cat and cow. You can keep your eyes soft, or you close them if you would like. Inhaling, coming to cow. Exhale, press the chest to the sky, cat. Inhale, drop the belly. Lift the gaze, open the collarbone, cow. Exhale, pressing up to the sky, cat. Take a few more rounds of this. Maintaining that breath in and out through the nose. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. Gaze just out in front of the fingertips. Imagine a nice strong line from the top of your head back all the way to your tailbone. We'll ground down through the right hand, lift the left hand up, and exhale, thread it through. Feel free to walk that right hand out, opening up the chest here. Keeping the hips nice and high. We'll walk the right hand back in towards us, ground down, lift up, and exhale, left hand to meet the right. Feel free to take a cat-cow here. And then we'll ground down through the left hand. When we come back to neutral spine, we'll lift the right hand up. And exhale, thread it through. Beautiful. Walk the left hand out. Keeping those hips high, opening up that chest and that shoulder. We'll bring the hand back in, ground down, lift up, and exhale back to tabletop. We'll reach the left hand out and then reach that right foot back. So we're balancing here on the right hand and the left knee, feeling strong through that core, flexing the foot and pressing the foot back. We're moving our body in opposite directions. And on your next exhale, we'll bring knee and elbow to touch, curling that upper back. And then inhale, reaching out. And exhale, coming in. Reaching out, feeling your body stretch. Exhale, contract. And then once more. Beautiful breath. And then we'll bring the left hand down and the right knee down. Taking a cat-cow once again here. It's always nice to take cat-cows in these transitional moments. And then we'll reach that right arm out, reach that left foot back. Perfect. Nice deep inhales and exhales. And on our next inhale, we'll bring the knee and the elbow to touch, curling the upper back. Exhale, reaching out. Body moves in opposite directions. Inhale, coming in. Exhale, reaching out. Strong through that core. One breath, one movement. Feel free to move faster or slower depending on where your breath is at. We'll do one more together. Inhaling, making that contact under the belly. Exhale, reaching out, feeling strong. And then bringing the hand and the knee down onto the mat. We'll take another cat-cow. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. We'll walk the hands out just slightly. We'll tuck the toes under. And we'll lift the knees up to just hover off the ground. And then just begin to rock the body back and forth. You can come as far back as you would like. You're almost keeping those heels nice and high, nice wide fingers. Just noticing how your breath is as we take these small movements. Almost as though you're coming into sort of a little squat and then reaching forward almost to a high plank. We'll do it once more. And then we'll bring the knees down together, coming into a closed like child's pose. We'll bring the hands by our side, reaching the chest up, sitting on top of our feet. So feet are going to be flat down on the mat. We're going to be sitting up nice and tall, open chest, gazing straight out in front of us. And we're just going to open up our ankles a bit more. So for a lot of people, sitting in this sort of hero's pose can be very intense for the knees and the ankles. If so, feel free to come up a little bit onto your heels, or just sit up a little bit. But if you'd like a little bit more, you can reach back, opening the chest, and then bringing the knees up, and opening up those ankles. And on your third exhale, we'll come down, and we'll transition, bringing the feet underneath, toes underneath, opening up the backs of the feet this time. You can bring the hands in front if you would like, rounding that upper back. Opening up that chest. And then we'll slowly release on the exhale. We'll come back into our child's pose, reaching the hands out in front. Feel free to do a wide like it's child's pose if that's speaking to you today. And we'll ground down through the hands, tuck the toes under and lift up, this time into downward facing dog. Feel free to walk your dog out, pressing that chest back towards the upper thighs, heels down towards the mat. Lifting the hips up, back, and then down. Beautiful. From here, we'll inhale, look forward. Exhale, we'll walk the hands back towards the feet. Coming to the back of our mat in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, making the body in number 7 strong through that abdomen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise, extended mountain pose. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do some sun A's here. Just get the body moving and that blood flowing. Inhale, we'll reach up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, walk the hands out, coming into a high plank. Lower down all the way, keeping those elbows tucked in. We'll bring the tops of the feet to the mat, and you can bring the hands out wide. We'll do a cobra here. Feel free to keep the hands in if that's more comfortable. Exhale, we'll lower down and press up into a downward facing dog. Next, inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walk the hands back towards the feet. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise, extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walk the hands forward. Strong through that core. We'll lower down all the way once again to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra, little to no weight in the hands. Feet firmly planted. Exhale, lower down. And press up into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Breathing in and out through that nose. We'll inhale, look forward. Exhale, once again, walk those hands back. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more, sun A. Inhale, reach and rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and walk them to the front of the mat. We'll exhale, lower down all the way. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, fold and press up into downward facing dog. It's nice to take 3 breaths when we're in down dog, really opening up the back side of our body. On your next inhale, we'll look forward. Exhale, we'll walk the hands back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise, extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Feel free to come into a mountain pose here with the hands out in front, chest open nice and wide, closing down those eyes. If you haven't set an intention for class, now is a great time to do so as we begin to get into some of those more challenging asanas. On the next inhale, open the eyes, reach the hands up, look up. We'll interlace the right hand with the left wrist and then reach over to that left side. Keeping the chest nice and open, biceps by the ears, while still relaxing the shoulders down and away. Pulling that right side body. Inhale back to center. Release the right wrist and then we'll grab for the left wrist, reaching up and over to that right hand side. Once again, biceps by the ears. Inhale, coming back to center. We'll release, folding all the way down to the ground. Centering ourselves here. Inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, fold, walk the hands out. Coming into a high plank. We'll do a little bit of core here to really fire up that belly. Very simple, we'll just make X's with our hands and shoulders. So we'll take our left hand and reach for our right shoulder, and then place it back down, and then reach the right hand for the left shoulder. If it's too much to be up on your toes in a high plank, feel free to come down to your knees. The goal here is to move your lower body as little as possible. And like a lot of our core exercises, you can do this as fast or as slow as you would like, whatever speaks particularly to you. We'll do 3 more each side at your own time and pace. 1 more for the left and the right, and then we'll press back to a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Taking 3 breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. This time inhale through the nose and let everything out through the mouth. Releasing that tension once more and release through the mouth. We'll look forward and then we'll come into a wide-legged child's pose. This time breathing in and out through the nose. Noticing where the breath might be. Still staying engaged through those fingers and those hands, pulling the shoulders down and away. An active child's pose here. We're going to use this energy through our child's pose to pull ourselves forward, tuck the toes under, and come back into a downward facing dog. And the next inhale, we'll lift the left foot up. Exhale, we'll bring it through in between the hands, bring the back knee down, and lift up into a low lunge. We're stacking all of our limbs, especially that knee over the ankle, biceps strong and by the ears. And on the next exhale, we'll straighten the front leg, coming into a half split. Beautiful. Here we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, sinking low. On the next inhale, we'll stay low, walk the hands forward, frame that front foot, straighten the back leg. We'll ground down through the right hand and lift the left hand up, coming into a nice little twist. Sinking that hip low, opening that chest. Gaze can be up towards that hand or down towards the foot or somewhere in between. For a little extra challenge here, you can transition straight from this twist into a side plank. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just bring the left hand down, step back to a high plank, and then move your left foot on top of the right. But if you'd like to, you can just bring that left foot back, coming into your high plank, lifting your hips up towards the sky, remembering to breathe and smile at yourself. Knowing that shaking is good. I'm obviously shaking a lot. And on the next exhale, we'll bring the left hand down. And this time, as we lower down, we'll keep our elbows in and we'll just lower down halfway. And then inhale, we'll come into a upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll come into the right side, lifting that right foot up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it in between the hands, placing that foot down, and inhale, reaching up into our low lunge. Relaxing the shoulders down, biceps by the ears, palms facing each other, beautiful. Strong through that core. And on our exhale, we'll straighten that front leg, coming into our half splits. Lengthening through the inhale, sinking through the exhale. And then begin to walk the hands forward, keeping the torso low, straightening that back leg. Grounding down through the left hand, lifting the right hand up. Beautiful twist. And once again, you can take your transition straight into that side plank, or bring the left or the right hand down to frame the foot, step back to high plank, and then bring the foot back. Whichever variation you choose to transition, just make it your own and stay in touch with that breath. Feeling strong through that side body, remembering to breathe, acknowledging the discomfort here in our side plank. And then we'll bring that hand down. Ooh, slower than what I did. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, taking Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Letting that head hang heavy. And we'll inhale, look forward. Exhale, we'll walk the feet up towards the hands this time. Going to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll drop the hips, lift the hands, coming into chair pose. So sinking those hips back, arms by the ears, bringing the knees back. Feeling strong through those hips. And we'll slowly begin to rise up, dropping the hands and straightening the legs. Coming into mountain pose. We'll take a breath here to recenter. Maybe reconnect with that intention. Let's take one more breath. That was really nice. And we'll begin to ground down through that right foot. You can leave your hands by your side. I like to bring them at heart center. I just feel slightly more balanced. We'll lift up that left foot as if we're coming into stork. Beautiful. And then we'll bring that foot across the top of the thigh, making a figure four. And then we'll sink the hips down as if we're coming into a one-legged chair pose. Keeping that spine nice and straight. We'll tilt forward from the hips, maybe bringing the elbows to the knee and to the foot, really opening up that hip. Flexing the left foot towards the knee. Finding your point of drishti here. Breathing into the balance. If you'd like more, you can reach over the top. And from here, if it's in your practice, you can take flying pigeon. At least that's what I like to call it, because it's like a pigeon pose, but you're up on your arms. I'll demonstrate quickly. Wherever you're at, just feel comfortable there, continuing to breathe. If you'd like to take flying pigeon, you'll bring the hands down, hooking that left foot onto the right tricep, making a table as you do in crow, and then lifting up. So like coming back down, wherever we all are. We'll begin to reach up, standing up nice and straight, releasing that foot, coming back into that stork toe and leg. And then we'll begin to reach forward and back, coming into a airplane warrior three. So still balancing on that right leg, engaging that hip, engaging that core, sucking that belly button in. Feeling super strong, and we'll reach back. Maybe you have to roll that front foot forward a bit, and we'll come into a high crescent lunge. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And the next exhale, we'll open up into a warrior two. Teeing out those arms, just feeling into that hip. Feeling nice and strong there. Relaxing the shoulders. We'll come into reverse warrior on your next inhale. And then exhale, warrior two. And finally, we'll get a little relief. We'll straighten that front leg as we inhale. Exhale, we'll reach forward. And then down, coming into triangle pose. Feeling nice and open through that left side body. Nice and long through that right side body. Strong through both feet. Maybe keeping a micro bend through that front knee to protect the knee. And we'll begin to bend slightly through. We'll come into reverse warrior. Then exhale, we'll rotate the hands down, frame that front foot, and step back into a high plank. Feel free to go straight into down dog, or you can take Chaturanga Dandasana into up dog, whatever suits you, but we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, exhale everything out through the mouth. Once more like that. And inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. We'll inhale, reach that foot up. The right foot up. And then we're just gonna open up the hip. Feel free to move that knee around in circles, or just shake that leg out. On the next exhale, bringing the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walk the feet up to meet the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drop the hips, lift the hands, coming into chair pose. Sinking those hips nice and low, pulling the weight back into the heels. Relaxing the shoulders down and away. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can bring the hands to heart center. And then once again, we'll straighten the knees and let the hands drop by our side. Feeling grounded and centered here in our mountain pose. Grounding through that left foot, we'll bring the hands to heart center and lift that right knee up. Coming into a stork knee, stork leg. Still breathing in and out through the nose. Finding one unmoving point in front of you. And then bringing that right ankle across the top of the left knee and sinking down into our one-legged chair, our figure four pose here. Finding your expression. If you took pigeon pose or flying pigeon on the other side, feel free to move into that now. So I'm much less flexible on my right side, so I'm just going to sink nice and low, reaching for the ground here. So lengthening through the spine. Not necessarily imagining myself going into flying pigeon, but just accepting the body for where it is right now. Knowing that with time and with practice and with patience and with acceptance of our bodies, that one day that might be possible. Wherever you might be, begin to stand back up. Strong through that left leg, coming into a stork leg on the right side. Standing up nice and tall before reaching forward and back with the left leg, tilting the torso forward, bringing the hands back into an airplane torso. Beautiful. And then reaching that back leg down, coming into your high crescent lunge, with a reaching up. Reaching up nice and tall. We'll exhale, open up, warrior two. Beautiful. Once again, engaging with those feet, relaxing the shoulders, feeling your body move in opposite directions. We're almost there. We'll inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. And finally, inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach forward and down into a triangle pose. Breathing smooth in and out through the nose. Opening up the chest. Going long through both side bodies. Now on the next inhale, we'll bend through the front knee, coming into reverse warrior. And exhale, rotate the hands, frame the front foot, and take your choice of flow. Beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel free to inhale through the nose. Release everything through the mouth. Inhale, we'll look forward. Exhale, we'll walk the feet up towards the hands and then walk them to the outside edges of our mat. We'll inhale, halfway lift. We'll bring the hands to heart center in our halfway lift, opening up the chest here. And then we'll begin to sink the hips down. The feet can flare out a little bit if you'd like. Coming into Malasana, our yogi squat. Gaze coming slightly forward. Hands pressing against the knees. Knees opening up nice and wide. Beautiful. And release the hands in front. And we'll begin to sink the hips down until they reach the mat. You can use your hands to support you here. We'll sit up nice and tall, opening up the chest. And then we'll come into a boat pose. So your choice of expression for boat pose. I really like to have my knees bent, almost at a 90-degree angle, so I can open up that chest. Maybe you bring the hands up overhead. Whatever you would like your boat expression to be. We'll then bring the knees in towards the chest. And we'll just roll back. And then up again. Slowly. And then just begin to slow yourself down in this rock and roll until you become stationary on your mat. Knees tucked in. We'll take the peace fingers and you can reach for the big toes or the outside edges of the feet. Whatever you would like. Coming into our happy baby. Beautiful. Feel free to play around here. You don't have to stay stationary. I like to straighten my legs. I like to have a nice stretch through my hamstrings and my calves. Still maintaining that breath. Tucking the knees in, coming into that happy baby. And then we'll release the toes. And we'll stretch the legs up in front of us into a legs up the wall pose, flexing the toes towards the face. Feel free to rotate the ankles here. We open them up a little bit at the beginning of class. Maybe noticing how that might feel in your ankles right now. And if you'd like to, you can come into a shoulder stand from here, if that's in your practice. If not, just feel free to stay in your legs up the wall pose, engaging those knees and those quads, really flexing through those feet. But if you'd like to come into shoulder stand, We'll come up onto the shoulders, supporting the lower back with the hands, and then reaching the toes up towards the sky. The weight here should be on your shoulders, not on your head and neck. Maintain a stationary gaze. Don't let your gaze wander too much here. Trying for 5 breaths. If you'd like to, you can take plow pose, bringing the feet behind the head, still supporting the lower back. Here you may release the hands if you're feeling really flexy in your lower back. And we'll slowly begin to lower down. Once again, using your hands to support you. I like to keep myself really tucked in here. We'll bring the feet about hip-width distance apart, tucked into the bum. And on your next inhale, we'll lift the hips up, coming into a bridge pose. Beautiful. Bringing the shoulders underneath, maybe taking the clasp, reaching that fist towards your knees. Maybe watching your breath and your belly on each inhale and exhale. One more breath. And on the exhale, release the hands and lower down one vertebrae at a time. Bring the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug. We'll straighten out that left leg onto the mat. We'll pull the right knee in towards us. Really feeling that constriction between belly and thigh. And we'll bring the right knee over the left, teeing out the arms, coming into a spinal twist. Letting the gaze drop over to the right hand side. Back to center, bringing the right knee in and then the left. Giving yourself a nice squeeze before releasing that right leg towards the mat. Pulling that left knee in nice and tight towards that armpit. Beautiful. And then moving that left knee across the right leg, letting the gaze fall over to the left. Taking a spinal twist on this side. You might feel it in your hips a little bit, but the goal here is to keep both shoulders firmly planted on the ground. Allowing yourself to breathe. We'll begin to bring that left knee back in towards the chest, and then meet it with the right knee. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. If there's anything else that you would like to do to close out your practice, feel free to take the next few moments to do that now. But if you're ready, we'll come into Shavasana, or corpse pose, straightening out the legs, letting the feet fall open, letting the chest rise and fall, palms facing up. Relaxing that gaze until you close the eyes. Allowing a sense of softness and heaviness to flow throughout the body. Releasing control of the breath. And just observing its natural flow. And just taking the next few minutes to be present and to be still. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotating the wrists and the ankles. Bring the feet together and reach the hands up overhead, taking a good morning stretch. And then exhale, bring the knees in towards the chest and fall onto your favorite side, coming into a fetal pose. Keeping your eyes soft and your attention inward, we'll press ourselves up to a seated position, either crisscross applesauce or on top of those feet. Let the hands sit open on the tops of our thighs as we just rotate the head around in circles, releasing that neck. Taking 3 rotations in one direction, and then 3 rotations in the other direction. Feel free to stop at any point. Just focus on a particular section of the head, neck, and shoulders. When you're finished with your rotations, we'll come back to center. We'll bring the hands to heart center, the head slightly bowed. I hope you can carry this feeling with you throughout the rest of your day and into your tomorrow. It's always a pleasure to lead you through your practice. The light in me and the light in you, they are the same. Namaste.